Hello people, how's it going? This is DJ357 here for yet another episode of DJ357 Plays, and today we are again playing Sid Meier's Civilization 5. So in the first episode what we did was we gave you guys a little introduction to the game, gave you an idea of what a turn-based strategy game is like, gave you an idea of what a Sid Meier turn-based strategy game is like, and we gave you an idea of how to build cities, how to build units, how to move those units around the battlefield, and a little bit of combat and a little bit of technology research. So in this episode what we're going to be doing is hopefully encountering some other players, so there'll be AI players in this instance, so computer players, and maybe we might declare war with them, we might have to fight them off, we may become friends with them, you never know, we'll see what happens. It depends on their demeanor, depends on whether we piss them off or not. So welcome back, and let's get started. So we had a scout unit who was nearby a barbarian encampment, so we're ignoring that. We have our city, which is now of population size 2, called Thebes. It is our capital city, and we're in the middle of building a worker. So the worker, just to give you guys a reminder, is a guy who will be building improvements on the various different tiles around our cities. So here he might be building, a water wheel, and here he might be chopping down the forest to clear the land, and here he might be building a farm, this, that, and the other. We'll come across that when we get to it. And of course we have the city-state of Belgrade up here, which is obviously, logically and sensically, really close to Cape Town. So Belgium is really close to South Africa. As I said before, you can basically ignore standard geography when you're playing this game. So we have another unit up here who is sitting here trying to heal himself. So we have a natural wonder here and various different bits and pieces around the map, and I won't bore you with going over all that detail again. So we have our scout unit who currently needs to do something. So we'll move him a little bit further down here, and we will try and see can we meet up with this other player who's over here, which I believe is maybe Thailand or Malaysia or something like that. So we can also see that there's another ancient ruin over here. Awesome. So we'll come across some new stuff then. So we have nothing else to do this turn, so as you guys may remember from watching this is a turn-based strategy game. So once we have all the stuff done that we want to do in our turn and that we can do in our turn, we say okay, we're done, we move on to the next turn, and we allow all the other players in the game to carry out their turn if we do so.
Thou shalt not
So
muzzle the ox
we have now
when he
completed
treadeth out
researching
the
a
corn.
technology, and that technology is called animal husbandry. So that allows us to construct pastures on tiles that have cows in them, and also tiles that have sheep in them. And the one really handy thing it does as well is it reveals horses on the map. So previously, if they were there, we could not see them, but now we can see them, and we can use those horses to build more powerful units. So we can build, say, horse-mounted warriors, we can build chariot archers, and various different other units that use horses. So, awesome. So we can see there's actually some horses down here. So 4 horses on this. The 4 horses of the grassland. So there's 4 that was really bad. So there's 4 horses down here. So we'll move our guys a little bit closer down here to the horses. God damn you. We're off to a bad start there, Ram Kameheng of Siam, because I was going to get that fucking ancient ruin. Bastard. Okay, so this is Siam. So it wasn't Thailand or related, it was Siam. So, he's Ram Kameheng, and he is apparently greatly honoured by my visit. Now, his disposition towards me is neutral, because we've never met before, so that's good. So, I can choose to immediately declare war on this player. That would probably be a little bit hasty. He might not want to do that. He may be a little bit stronger than us. We can initiate some trades. We can demand various different stuff from him. So we can tell him, no building cities in our territory, or no being on our land. So, get off our land, Ram Kameheng, you bastard. Or we can discuss some various different stuff with us. So, I always try and do this, even in all these kind of games. I always try and see, can we be friends straight away? So, we've decided to discuss some stuff. So, shall we declare war against? We can't do that because there's no one to declare war against. I can say, you are a bastard. You're a menace. I don't like you. So I can publicly denounce him. I can tell him not to settle new cities near us. So that's handy if you don't want anybody encroaching on your territory. As I said, get off my land. Or we can ask for a joint declaration of friendship. Now I want this, because that means you won't be actually attacking it.
Mine.
So he says, I don't know you. we're just friends, or we're just acquaintances. I'm not ready yet. Blah blah blah. Oh, it's one of those days. So he is saying, no, I don't want to be friends yet. I don't even know you. I'm not yet ready to step into the friend zone. So he says no. We say, okay, whatever. Bye bye. So we don't really have anything else to discuss with him, so it's fine. So our unit is done with its turn, and now we move on to the research. So, what do we want to research? So we can research sailing, which will give us some ships. We can research calendar, which gives us various different stuff. So it's really handy. It shows you actually here what it gives you. So you can either get stoneworks, which is a building resource. That allows us to build stoneworks on a tile. We can construct a plantation on a tile. We can research Stonehenge, various different bits and pieces. So this is stuff you guys will want to go over if you're playing this game, or if you're playing this game whenever. So one little thing as well is these little icons tell you that your various different advisors are actually advising you that it would be a good idea to build these. So foreign advisor recommends the calendar, science advisor recommends writing, because it gives us lots of it gives us open borders treaties. That's pretty cool, and various different stuff. But I want to go with mining because primarily it has a much lower amount of turns before it completes. So we'll go with mining. Alright, onwards to the next turn. So, as I promised you guys, we were likely going to be coming across other players, and we've come across Ramkemhaeng of Siam. I find that name really hard to pronounce. So this is his unit there, so that's the Siamese scout. So we shall move our scouts further on here, so we can see that there's some dies there, which requires calendar technology before we can actually make use of it. And that's all for this turn. So we have these guys fortifying until they're healed, so they're still trying to heal. So we got nothing else to do this turn. Alright, let's go. Next turn. Alright, so these guys are ready to move now. Now, the thing is, right now we are right beside this guy's territory. Now, what we can do is we can try and encroach on his territory, but that may actually be considered an act of war. Because we're not friends, we don't have any agreements about that, so it would be a bad idea to try and do that. So what we may try and do is we may try and actually sneak around his territory. And we may not be able to do it up here, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so yet again, unfortunately nothing to do this turn. As I mentioned in the last episode, there are certain times in this game where you're just pretty much clicking next turn because you've queued up all the orders for your units. They're doing what you've told them to do, and you know, it's just a case of playing the waiting game. So, okay, looking like maybe we can get across here in the next turn. We'll have a look. So all the time we're creeping, turn by turn, creeping closer to getting mine researched. So, as you can see there, in order to get over here, this unit has decided that to do so, we would need to... Wow. So we would need to go all the way down here and around. Now that is kind of cool because for whatever reason the computer has decided to tell me that there is a way to actually make it over land this way. So what we can do is we can try that. But I'm just going to try and move into this turn. So, yes, that would trigger war with him. So, bollocks, we can't do that. Alright, so we are going to go back this way. So there's a city-state there, we can see based on that. So we might not be able to enter that territory either. God damn it. Stupid people settling their things in my way. So, next turn. Oh, thank God. Okay, now we have
a worker,
unit. We can actually
but
do
have
some
not
stuff
improved any tiles yet.
So, now that we have a worker, we can
order
them
your
to
worker to construct an improvement on a tile near one of your cities to gain an economic benefit.
This here is a little icon that pops up when we have the worker selected, which tells us that it's recommended to construct a farm here because it will give us a significant boost to, say, food in this instance. So what we do is we move our worker over here, and he can move 2 tiles per turn, so he's still got some movement left. And we'll go construct a farm. Construct a firm. Yes, that'd be great. Construct a lawyer firm thing. A law firm. Oh man, it's one of those days. Construct a law firm and do some legal shit. No, we want to construct a farm. Okay? So we want farm with chickens and hens and sheep and stuff. So these guys are off doing stuff. They appear to be brushing the ground in lieu of building a farm. But anyway, so these guys are almost ready to move. Our city is going to increase population in the next turn. And now because we've completed building the workers, we're now free to build something else. And also, because our city is now of population 2 at least, we can build a settler. So what we want to do is the growth of the city is going to stop while this unit is being built. So just to be on the safe side, in one turn we're going to go up to 3 citizens. Ordinarily I wouldn't pay any attention to this, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait 1 turn and then we'll choose the settler. So, how do we do that? How do we end the turn without choosing the production? Interesting. Anyway, thank you. Additional information. Wow, this is really stumping me. That is not good. Oh, whatever. Okay, we'll choose the settler. Stupid. Anyway. So, nothing else to do now. Next turn. Awesome, so we've now discovered mining. So
but
we've
not
released
its
the
mineral
technology, the technological benefits of mining. So now our workers can build mines to increase production of map tiles, and they can chop forests, allowing the construction of other improvements. Awesome. So now we have the opportunity to research something else. So we can go with sailing, or calendar, or writing, trapping, the wheel, masonry, or bronze working. So obviously they all lead to various different things. I think we should go with... that's walls, marble, that allows chariot archer. I think we'll go with the wheel, because that'll give us the chariot archer. And the chariot archer, number 1, is an archer, so it's a ranged unit, which is helpful. And number 2, it's a fast unit because it's got wheels, so it can move a little bit faster. It's got 5 moves per turn, which is great. So, go with the wheel, and it'll take 9 turns to research. Okay, so now we move on to the next turn, because there's nothing else to do in this turn. Aha, we have met the city-state of Venice. So they've haven't met anybody else, so they're going to give us a gift of 30 gold. They are maritime, so they'll give us a bonus of food when we're friends. They are friendly, so they'll ask for peaceful stuff. They are not currently friends with anybody. They have some gold, and they have some horses nearby. Cool. So let's go down to these guys and have a look. So there's Venice. So, as I mentioned before, moving into their territory, not so great. Okay. We currently have this unit selected, so he's trying to move for us. So let's go down and select this unit. So we left click. Boom, he's selected. Okay. So, oh, okay. Actually, we can. That's good. Now, as I mentioned, we're now going to... that unit is now going to spend a turn in this city-state's territory. He's not going to be quite so happy with this. So we can see here that it says Venice is currently neutral, 0 out of 30. In the next turn, that's actually going to decrease, and it's going to go into the negatives, and that's not good, because when into the negatives, that means they don't quite like you very much. So we want to avoid that. But we also want to move through this area, so we're just going to have to just grin and bear it. So, our foreign advisor is even advising us of what's going on here, so she's saying that we are trespassing. So they don't like it when you actually move into their territory. So if we want to remain on good terms with them, we keep our military out of their borders. So, unit needs orders. We'll go back to our spearman up here, and we'll move them around. Try and get a clearer picture of what's going on up here. So, they're done moving. Nothing else to do this turn. Boom, next turn. So, these guys have sent out some warriors to basically look tough and say, hey, stay off our land. So, I'm going to move over here. Doesn't look see. So this unit, so you can see here now, there's a little red bar filling up under here, so they're not very happy with this. So minus 60 out of minus 60. So I assume once we get down to minus 60, they're going to declare war on us. So let's move the hell out of their territory just to make them happy. So, okay, that's helpful. There is no way to actually move down across here. Now, one thing that we can do at a certain point is when we research a very specific technology, the name of which escapes me at the moment, what can happen is we have the ability to what's called embark. So we will have discovered the technology to build ships, and what that will allow us to do is all of our units, so any of our units whatsoever, they can actually move from, say, somewhere like here all the way across here by going into ships, then traveling across the ocean, and then disembarking on the land. So that'll be something we'll be able to do at a later stage, but just not yet. So, because we can't do that yet, we're kind of screwed. So we'll move to the next turn anyway. Oh, there's some barbarians sitting there, awaiting our arrival on their shores, which is always good. So, okay, not much we can do there. Nice. Move over here. And as we can see as well, that is slowly increasing. So we're slowly going back to a neutral state because we've stopped doing stuff that anger them. So we'll go to the next turn. We have nothing else better to do. So we're still waiting. Perfect. Okay. So there are some barbarians up here who we are going to attack if we can. Ah, crap. Alright, well, time to attack. Suck it! Die. Awesome. So we did quite well there. We killed them. Okay, so we've killed a group of barbarians near Cape Town. They are grateful. Cape Town are grateful, not the barbarians. I don't think the barbarians will be grateful about us killing their unit. So Cape Town's grateful, and they have... Oh, our influence with them has increased because we've done something that they actually favour. So that's good. So that's another thing that can happen both with players and with city-states. If you carry out actions that are favourable towards them, or that they find favourable, you may actually increase your influence with them. So that's pretty handy. So what we'll do is, well, we're just going to have to anger Venice again anyway. So, just to get out of where we are. Don't think we could have transited across this area. So anyway. On to the next turn. Oh, those guys are moving around our territory. I don't like it. Clear off my land. It's not technically my land because it doesn't fall under my territory, but still, get off it. Right, okay, so these guys, not going to do so well against that, but screw it. I don't like any barbarians. So, oh, okay, we are bad.
I have some information that may be of
not
use.
Well off. That was not good. So we neither gained an advantage or critically injured our opponent. So that's not good. So we're going to need some guys to come help us out if we want to defeat those guys. So we have a settler coming in 11 turns. It's going to take quite some time, unfortunately. So our worker is now completed. So we will get them to construct a farm. So you guys move over here. Oh, unfortunately they're out of moves at the moment, so we'll have to order them to construct a farm in the next turn. Okay, so we move our scouts over here. And we want to go explore this area of the map. Really? Next turn? You guys can't do anything this turn? That's weak. Alright, so we move back here. And we fortify. Now we can build a farm here. So, now that we've discovered mining, we also have the ability to chop down the forest, which takes 3 turns. So we can remove the forest here and just turn it into a grassland. Now that would give us an additional piece of food for our city, but it would remove production. So what can happen is, because we're chopping down the forest for 3 turns, it gives us 20 production to the city, but it's only a short-term benefit. So it really depends on which way you want to do things. Maybe if you're trying to build something and you want a short-term benefit to increase how quickly you can build it, we try that. So we'll try it. We'll try and chop down the forest and see what happens. So hopefully that will increase the amount of time, or sorry, decrease the amount of time it takes to actually produce this. We'll just have to wait and see. So next turn. Okay, move these guys around. Okay, next turn. Okay, so there is...
Cities can bombard besiegers.
In our city. One thing that cities always have in their arsenal, which they're always able to do, is within a certain distance they can actually bombard some enemies within this range around here. Okay, so if these guys were enemies with us, we could bombard them, but these are barbarians. We don't like these guys, so we're going to bombard them. It's not going to do a huge amount of damage. I'm going to do 2 damage to them, but they're still fairly healthy, but they pose less of a threat now, so that's good. So these guys are working away. going. Over here. Oh, another barbarian encampment. Okay. And we will choose to bombard these guys again because they're still in our territory. Oh, not a huge amount of damage, but we're slowly whittling away their strength. Hopefully they'll be stupid enough to stay. No, they've gone out of it.
Wisdom and virtue.
Public declaration from Siam here waiting for us. But we have just discovered the wheel. Okay, so sorry if I've been a little bit quiet and kind of mumbling there. Move that mic a little bit closer. So we have now discovered the technology for the wheel. So we can now build the chariot archer. We can also build roads, and we can discover the water mill. So that's another improvement that we can actually build nearby rivers. So it'll give us a bonus to food and to production, which is pretty good. So the roads will be handy because it'll decrease the movement cost of various different tiles. So it allows us to move various different movements a lot more in one single turn than without a road. So, right, let us travel a little bit more, explore more of the map. So these guys are done, so they've chopped down the forest, and as you can see, this actually shot up about 2 or 3 turns, so that's great. So it turns out that boost in production only happens right at the end of chopping down the forest. So that area is now clear. So they have the option here to get them to build roads or railroads to select the tile. One thing that I find really cool about these guys is you can ask them to automatically do stuff, and this is what I want. So we can show you guys how to do various different stuff, like construct a road, so we can tell them to build it here, build it there, whatever. But it's just really handy to get them to actually automatically do that stuff. Anyway, it just saves you time and hassle. So we're going to automate these guys, and they'll do what they feel is best in the area. Okay, we have them working away. Now, we have a public declaration from Siam, so it is now protecting Belgrade. So if we were to attack Belgrade, that would greatly damage our relations with Siam and could possibly lead to war. So Siam appear to have made some sort of agreements with Belgrade, and if we were to do anything that was detrimental to Belgrade, they would not like that. They'd frown upon that. So that's fine. I don't really care. I'm not going to go anywhere near Belgrade anytime soon. So it's time to research some new technology. So these two have 19 turns. So even though horseback riding would be good because we could build a horseman, and mathematics would be good because we could build a catapult, courthouse, and something like that. I'm going to stay away from those simply because of the high cost in the turns. And we're going to go with the slightly lower one here of writing. So we'll go with writing. And there's nothing else to do this turn. So, next turn. Right. So we'll continue our exploration. So, as you guys may have noticed, one of the primary uses of the scout is just to simply send them off around the map to try and discover all the areas of the map that you have. It's always good to know the lay of the land. Okay, so here's Kathmandu. So they provide me with a gift of 15 gold. Likely they've come across other people. They are cultured, so they will provide culture to us. That's good. They are neutral, so that's okay. They're not allied with anybody, and their resources are ivory, so likely they have some elephants nearby. So Siam are protecting Kathmandu, so if we do anything dangerous to Kathmandu, they will be pissed. So that's fine. I'm not really going to do anything like that. So we'll explore a little more, and there's the ivory. So, okay, so Kathmandu is a state that provides bonuses to culture. Now, we haven't gone on over culture yet, so before this video ends, we will try and go over some culture. So, might as well explain some of the stuff up here. I apologize for not doing it in the first video. Hopefully you guys will be watching both of these videos to get a more fuller understanding of this game and all the different stuff involved in it. So, once we've discovered horses, and they have become one of our resources, they go up here. So we have 0 horses available to us at the moment because we're not actually utilizing those resources. They're just there for us on various different tiles, and once we actually start utilizing them, they'll start appearing up here. This is our culture, so we can unlock the next policy in 4,965 turns. Okay, so social policies are various different things that allow you to kind of guide where your civilization is going. So this is the social policy screen. So the social policy screen,
I have some information that may be of use.
You spend your accumulated culture to unlock the social policies. Some branches may not be selected until a technological area is reached. This, that, and the other. Now, in this tutorial, it doesn't go over these social policies. I'm going to go over them a little with you guys, but when you're playing this specific tutorial, it basically locks them all out. because it doesn't want you going anywhere near them, because it's just a little bit more advanced than the traditional tutorial stuff. Okay, so what you have is you have social policies. They give you various different benefits. So once you have enough culture built up to unlock one of these, then fire ahead. So they come under various different headings: tradition, liberty, honor, piety, patronage. And once you have the opportunity to adopt them, you can adopt them here. Okay, so tradition is best for small empires. Adopting the social policy of tradition greatly increases the rate of border expansion in cities. So the border around the city increases at an enhanced rate. And it also grants 3 culture in the city capital. So it gives us a bonus of 3 culture in that city capital. So adopting all of the policies in the tradition tree, so that's all of these policies here. So once we have all of those, adopting that will grant plus 15% food growth and plus 2 food in each city. So that's pretty awesome. But obviously, because this is a tutorial, we can't unlock this at the moment, or any of these. So that's just one. There's liberty, which provides various different other advantages, honor, all these different ones. And once you have enough culture, you can unlock various different bits and pieces of these social policies. So they're fairly handy to have. They give you various different bonuses, depending on which one you want to choose. So that's social policies. So obviously, at the moment, we have a gain of plus 1 culture per turn. So that's why it's going to take that many turns before we actually start getting any more social policies. Now, if you continue playing this tutorial on and on and on, eventually you'll get to the point where you can unlock those social policies. So it's not as if they've locked them out entirely, but they don't want you getting near them early in the game. When you're playing the single player game, you can actually get access to those social policies a good bit earlier. Okay, so then the other thing that we have up here is we have, it's basically progress towards a golden age. So the more happiness we have, the closer we get to having a golden age. And a golden age is basically, it's around about 10 turns, I think, of getting increased gold production and increased production from all of your tiles that are being utilized in your city. So basically it just means everybody is that much more productive and useful during a golden age. As I say, it only lasts around about 10 turns. So it's pretty handy. So having a lot of happiness gives you a golden age much faster, so that's good. Happiness, we mentioned a little bit earlier on. The more luxury resources you have, so those would be resources that would be specialized resources, like I think like dyes and various different stuff like that, pearls, things like that. If we actually have access to those, we're mining those, we're utilizing those, that counts as a luxury resource, and our population actually gets a lot happier from having those. Social policies can increase happiness, certain buildings can increase happiness, so the more happiness we have, the faster our cities can grow, and the closer we get to golden ages. So that's a measure of this. The happiness. Unhappiness can be generated as well. So unhappiness happens because of the size of the population you have in your different cities and the number of cities you have. So unhappiness increases when you have really, really high populations and when you have loads and loads of cities. So it's something to watch out for. But there are things that you can do to actually counter that. So that's more advanced stuff that we can get to maybe in a later on episode. And then of course we have our gold. So gold is stuff we can use to buy tiles, to say give gifts of gold to our diplomatic allies, to maybe pacify some people who are not so happy with us, and also to basically purchase units instead of having to wait turns to actually complete those units. So we can see our total income there and our total expenditures. So how much how much is coming in minus how much is going out tells us how much we gain per turn. And science tells us how quickly we can research different bits of technology. So the more science we have, faster we can unlock research. So that is that. So we'll continue a little bit more. We're getting near the end of this episode, and we've covered most of the important stuff in this game. We've covered actually most of the really important concepts. We've covered movement, we've covered building cities, we've covered managing your cities, we've covered creating units, covered moving them around, we've covered some diplomacy, we've covered maybe the barbarians and the city-states and stuff like that. So I think actually, to be honest, we'll leave it there. So that is Civilization 5. I wonder what you guys think of it. Personally, I like this game. I've played Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri before, and I loved that game. I could spend hours and hours and hours playing that game. It's fairly similar. It's just set in a different setting. You're on a planet, basically, in the constellation of Alpha Centauri. The solar system of Alpha Centauri. And there's aliens instead of barbarians, and there's various different stuff around the story and the setting and stuff like that. And it's a really enjoyable game. It has the same kind of setup as this game. It's turn-based. You research different technologies, you build cities, and all that kind of stuff. So, as I say, I like this game. I wonder, do you guys like this game? So, as I say, we're at the end of the video now. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please like it. And if you like this game, if you don't like this game, if you think turn-based strategies are stupid, if you prefer real-time strategies, let me know. Give me a comment. Stick a comment below in the boxes below, and let me know what's going on. Also, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed some of my other videos, or if you didn't like my commentary, if you thought I was going too fast, if you thought I skipped over something, or you just think I'm annoying in general, just please let me know. Give me some feedback, put some comments in, let me know what's going on. So once again, this has been episode 2 of Civilization 5. I'll be back with this game later on. I'll be running through some single player stuff, playing through an actual full game on my own. I'll give you guys some insights into stuff that I'm doing, and going through a full playthrough when I have the time. It's not something I want to bore you guys with, because as I say, this game can suck hours and hours and hours out of your life, and I don't want to just be recording hours and hours and hours of me playing Civilization 5 just because I like the game. I don't want to be boring you guys with that. So, you know, maybe when I feel like it, if I'm trying to go through maybe a kind of a quick playthrough, we'll do some videos then. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and take care. See you guys again.